Hey guys, how's it going? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. If this is your first time checking out Truly Divine's channel, my name is Amy. If you're returning, welcome back to my channel, guys. So this is Divine Masculine's message for this week. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's just get started. So the first card coming up and what Divine Masculine wants you guys to know this week is that he's in his head. I feel like this is a week of progress. I feel like he is so close, and this is the closest that Divine Masculines have been to return to Divine Feminines, but there's still this, I don't want to say it's guilt, but I feel like there's still something that he's got going on within himself. Like, this is something he's telling himself, which makes a lot of sense, because as I'm going through the cards, we do have, I feel so undeserving of you. So that could be what I'm picking up. But with I'm in my head and I feel so undeserving of you, I feel like Divine Masculines, they just see you in this bright, beautiful, like, I want to kind of say like it's a goddess light. Like, they look at you and they're like, she's just perfect, you know? And even though Divine Feminine, you might be far from perfect, you might have a million flaws, it's like Divine Masculine sees past that. When he looks at you, he's like, she is everything that I could possibly ever needed or wanted in my life. And I never really realized that. Like, I never realized how much this woman, this Divine Feminine, meant to me until we had this disconnection, we had this separation, right? So I just feel like he's coming through this week and saying, like, I'm still in my head, I'm still in my feelings, because I don't feel like I deserve you. I feel like there's just so many other people right now that deserve you more than I do. But at the end of the day, Divine Masculine, it's being in this place where you have to know that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of having someone who sees that in you as well, you know? So that's kind of what I'm picking up with Divine Masculine, is like, they're so close, because I feel this urge to just like, excuse me, speak my truth. My throat chakra is bugging me. So I feel like I want to speak my truth. I want to open up. I want to be vulnerable. I want to express how I feel. But it's like I'm so in my head about wanting things to be perfect. That could be it. Like, wanting things to be perfect. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be authentic, right? Like, I wouldn't want if my Divine Masculine was coming back, I would want him to be real with me. I would want him to lay it all out. I would want him to tell me where he's been and what he's been doing and why he chose to do what he did. I would want him to be able to open up and express that to me, right? Like, I want to know what's going on with you that made you feel like the only way that you could deal with life at that time was to ghost me, was to disconnect from me, right? Instead of talking to me. And I feel like he's in a place right now where he knows that he has been gone far too long. Like, he knows that he's been hidden for too long. And it comes a point where it's starting to really affect him emotionally. It's starting to really affect him mentally. And physically, he might even be having a hard time sleeping at night, having a hard time trying to figure things out. But the underlying issue that I'm picking up for Divine Masculine right now is that he feels like when he looks at you, you are too good for him. So it has nothing to do with how he feels about you, because what he feels about you is pure. It's real. It's more of that he does not feel like he is the man that you need him to be. That what he can bring to the table is enough for you, because you deserve the world, and he doesn't know if he can give you the world. But it's like, as the Divine Feminine, I don't want my Divine Masculine to come back and give me the world. I want him to come back and be authentic. I want him to come back and be real. I want him to come back and be able to express how he truly feels, right? And it's being in a place where Divine Masculines are in a place of really kind of needing to get out of their head right now and more into their heart. That's kind of what I'm picking up for them. So as we move forward, it also has please wait, don't give up. So this to me says that some of you as divine feminines maybe have walked away, maybe are seeing other people, maybe are, giving up. And it's hard, right? It's hard to love someone but be at that point in your life where you can only wait, This journey is not for everyone. And I feel like Divine Masculine's coming through and saying today, for whoever needs this, I know I've taken a while. I know I haven't been the person you need me to be. I know I've been away from home for a long time. But I needed to go find myself. I needed to go find me again. I feel like he's been so lost and so unsure of his own life that it wasn't that he never cared. It wasn't that he never had real strong feelings for Divine Feminine. It was more of he needed to go away and find him again. And now that he's piecing that puzzle back together and finding out who he is again, he doesn't want you to give up what initially you guys had together. So he doesn't want you to forget about the feelings you had for him or the love you had for him or the times that you guys have spent. I think that if anything, Divine Masculine understands that you might, even though he doesn't want you to give up on him, he might be understanding that this is a period where you need to go learn a new lesson. You need to go learn this, whatever you're doing. I'm kind of feeling like if this is the Divine Feminine who's seeing another person or in another relationship, he wants you to know at this time, like, he's not upset about that. He understands that you want to be happy and that you two might not be in like an alignment right now, but he wants you to know that, like, he's not angry at you, he's not upset at you. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up. And for those that are waiting, it's more Divine Masculine saying, like, I'm coming home. It's just, I need to feel more with my heart than I am with my mind. Because he is holding back on how he truly feels about you, Divine Feminine. And we've had this card a couple times over the last couple weeks, right? Where, like, divine masculines, they want to make this right. They want exactly what you want, but they have a harder time really explaining how they truly feel, right? So I have not forgotten about you, even though you think I have. Yeah, exactly. So I know that because he's been disconnected, he's not talking, he's not interacting, he's not, it does not mean that he does not care. It does not mean that he does not value. It does not mean that he does not love you. It means that he is in a place where he is just on his wavelength. You know what I mean? Like, he's coming back. It's just, he's got to do it on his own terms. And I feel like the angels have pushed him. The angels are guiding him. But at this time, he's like, I know that I've been separated. I know that I've been disconnected, but I need you to know that whenever you see this, as I have not forgotten about you, even though you think I have. I still carry you in my heart. I still think about our moments. I still feel you. I still smell you. I still crave you. There are moments that there are things that happen in my life that I reach for my phone and I reach, to Facebook you, and I realize that I can't. Because you're in another relationship or you're moving on with your life, and I don't want to add to that, so however you take that, that's what's really coming in, is that, maybe the love that you shared with him at this time of, communication, maybe how much you expressed to him really threw him off, because he looked at you and he looked at his life and he said, I've loved a lot of people in my life, but I haven't loved like I loved this one. And maybe he, at some point, it's a self-esteem issue or a self-worth issue where he says, like, how can this woman, this Divine Feminine, be so in love with me? Like, I don't have much to offer. But it was never about money for Divine Feminine. It was more about security. And when I say security, it's emotional security, right? It's knowing that we are a team. We're 50-50. You're king, I'm queen. We've got each other's back. Like, our relationship is me and you, and it's God driven. So it's us, right? And we're not going to let anyone else into that circle. It's two people in this relationship. And for him at that time, it was just like a lot. Like, how can I have found such an amazing person when all I've endured in my life is heartache and pain? And that's what I'm really feeling, is that he was afraid to take the next step. He was afraid to move up that ladder, because for him it was, if I get to this point where I'm vulnerable, if I get to this point where I let you into my life, if I get this point where, you know, I let this wall down and I let you love me and I start loving you, are you going to leave like everyone else has? So you have to understand, as divine feminines, we have those thoughts as well. I know I do. Where we get something so good and we second guess it, where we overthink it. We're like, you know, is even this possible? You know? So it's about trying not to get into that mindset. But for divine masculine, he's just like, she came into my life and it was like, you were a hurricane. You know, you just uprooted everything in his life, and now he's trying to just really figure that out right now. You know, he even talks to other people about you. You know, he's trying to get advice. He's trying to ask them what to do. Like, hey, what do I do? Like, I can't forget this girl. I have this love for this girl. Like, I can't get her out of my heart. I can't get her out of my mind. I know she's seeing someone else, or I know she's waiting on me, and I don't know how to tell her how I feel. I don't know how to go speak to her. I don't know how to call her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are things that are flying in right now. So at the end of the day, you gotta know that your divine masculine can feel you. When I say feel you, I really feel like that's, like, sex is amazing. When you have sex that's amazing, that has that connection, that's fantastic. But I'm feeling this is more of holding your hand, or like really like cuddling times, or like even the last hug, or the way that you two were like hugging or something. Those are the moments that he's really reminiscing, is that like that not so much the intimate connection, but more of like the physical touch. You know what I mean? So he just says, you're the one I never knew I needed. Yeah. Because he didn't know at first. When he first met you, he was just like, there's no way that this is going to go as far as it has. There's no way that this is going to go anywhere. There's no way that I can feel what I feel for her. Until he realized that he's going to marry your ass one day. Until something inside of him clicked. And when I say clicked, I feel like, again, for me, this connection is more than sexual, but it was like the way that you guys had like a kissing moment, the way that you guys were kissing, or the way that you looked at him, or the little things that you were doing for him. Something just clicked. And when it clicked, he just knew in his heart. It was like God could even give him a sign like, hey, this is your wife. You know, this is the person I've sent for you to marry. So it's kind of like he knows this, but how do you act on that? How do you get the guts to come and speak to your wife? You know what I mean? Like, how do you know within your heart that this is the person that God has sent for you? How do you approach that? You know, I think that's where he is right now. So I know that might not resonate with everyone, but that's really what I'm feeling is really coming in strong. But he's saying, I want to wrap you in my arms to keep you safe and hold you forever. Yeah, because he's realizing. And he has been realizing. That's the thing. This has been something that he has realized for a while now. Those lips I could kiss forever. Because I pray for you. God has had a huge impact on him these last couple months, last couple years, however long you've been separated. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I really feel like God has had some type of influence on him. I don't know if he's gone to church more, if he's just been praying to God more, or if he's been listening to like gospel music, something Christian, I don't know. Something to do with the church, something to do with God. Because he loves you. And I think it's just timing. Timing is everything, right? And I feel like once he gets that final push, there's going to be no turning back for him. All right? So that is what I have for you guys. Hopefully it helps you guys this week. You guys have yourself a fantastic weekend coming up, and I will talk to you guys soon.